The bold and the beautiful spoilers hint that Luna Nozawa may exploit Liam Spencer's tragedy. So could she end up comforting Will Spencer in the bedroom? It'd be a twisted move on Luna's part, but we could certainly imagine her pouncing on Will in his most vulnerable moment. Although Liam initially wanted to keep his brain tumor diagnosis under wraps, his secret's about to trickle out to more people in the coming episodes. Liam doesn't want to rob his loved ones of any joy, but some sadness is inevitable here. After Bill Spencer gets updates on Liam's fatal outcome, Liam may push his dad to hide this awful news from Will. Perhaps Liam will argue that Will should focus on being happy and in love with Electra Forrester instead of worrying about his dying brother. However, Bill might confess to Will anyway and hope that it gives his boys a bit more bonding time before Liam's gone. It's also possible that Will could do some eavesdropping and discover Liam's horrible prognosis as a result. Regardless, B and B spoilers point to Liam confessing his medical condition to Bill soon, so it probably won't be long until Will finds out one way or another. Once that happens, Will's going to face the harsh reality of losing his big bro. Electra will try to be there for Will, but he may distance himself and try to handle some tough emotions on his own. Maybe Electra will feel like she should respect Will's right to process all this in private if that's what he wants. Of course, that's when relentless Luna could come along and discover what's going on. Luna may contend that Will shouldn't be alone right now and jump at the chance to comfort him. Between Will's heartbreak over Liam's tumor and all the frustration that's built up from Electra's bedroom block, this could be Luna's big opportunity. Luna may convince Will that she can give him the comfort he needs and help him forget his troubles, if only for a little while. Will might surrender to Luna in a moment of weakness and regret betraying Electra in the aftermath. The bold and the beautiful spoilers say Luna's predictions about making progress with Will could come true soon enough, so stay tuned. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Soap Spectrum. I am Emily here. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Keep watching, so let's dive into today's video. The bold and the beautiful spoilers for the week of May 12 to 16 reveal that Steffy Forrester will make a grand gesture that'll no doubt leave Ridge Forrester suspicious. Bill Spencer also seems poised for a life overhaul, so let's talk about what's ahead on the CBS soap. For starters, Steffy and Hope Logan will find a peaceful path forward, just like Liam Spencer is counting on. After Hope gets updates on Liam's inoperable mass, she'll join Steffy in fretting over their ex and how little time he might have left. Hope and Steffy's rivalry isn't as important as coming together to grant one of Liam's final wishes. Making peace between Steffy and Hope is something Liam really wants to accomplish, so B and B spoilers say they'll be willing to try. As a result, Hope will inevitably apologize for her part in the takeover drama at Forrester Creations. That'll pave the way for Steffy to allow Hope's return to the company, so she may make a big show about this push for peace when she welcomes Hope back. Of course, Ridge will no doubt raise an eyebrow over Steffy suddenly caving in and calling this truce with Hope. Steffy will stop trashing Hope and start promoting ways they can get along, so Ridge may grill his daughter about what's really going on. Hope may face some questions of her own from Brooke Logan and Carter Walton, though they'll mostly just be happy that Hope's coming back to Forrester Creations in a better frame of mind. This could give Carter some hope about a romantic reunion, but will Hope find herself stuck on Liam and what might have been as she processes the brain tumor news? Brooke might also expect Hope's apology to soften Ridge up so they can get back together. However, Ridge's commitment to Taylor Hayes will prove stronger than Brooke anticipates. There's a good chance Ridge will surprise Taylor with a marriage proposal sooner or later, so we'll see how long it takes him to pop the question again. In the meantime, it appears Bill's life will undergo an overhaul after he finds out about Liam's medical condition. Once Bill realizes Liam is fading away, It should give him a new perspective and motivate him to build a better relationship with his son before it's too late. Naturally, Bill could fling some money around and hope that maybe there's an experimental treatment out there for Liam. Even if Bill is unsuccessful, he may at least try to use his connections to find some sort of solution. Bill may make a prediction about leaving no stone unturned when it comes to figuring something out to keep Liam alive. The bold and the beautiful spoilers say the week of May 12 to 16 will bring some shockers and shakeups, so stay tuned. Bold and beautiful Steffy has been imploring Liam to tell Hope about his devastating prognosis since she found out about it. And as viewers know, he hasn't been able to bring himself to do it, even when the perfect opportunity presented itself as he experienced pain while face-to-face with his ex-wife. But the situation is set to hit a tipping point. Here's a first look at how it plays out when Hope finally learns the heartbreaking truth. Steffy decides to pay Hope a visit at Brooke's place and has no idea what she's walking into. Did Liam already tell Hope he's dying, or is she still in the dark? If that's the case, Steffy will be faced with making a difficult decision. Should she respect Liam's wishes to keep this information from Hope, or let her nemesis in on the truth? Given Steffy has said Hope deserves to know, fans had best have their tissue boxes at the ready. Hope greets Steffy in the spirit of their current relationship, which is adversarial. Having no idea what's going on with Liam, she'll undoubtedly be surprised by the arrival of the interloper and none too pleased. Given this is bold and beautiful, we're sure there will be a rehashing of their entire past up to, and including the coup and Hope's firing before they get down to the real reason for Steffy's visit. Hope won't have much trouble reading the room, what with Steffy obviously on the verge of breaking down. Her spidey senses have already been telling her that something is off, what with Liam moving in with Finn and Steffy, pushing her to reconcile with Carter, and giving unnerving speeches along the lines of, "I've been really blessed to have you in my life all this time." Add wincing and tears to the mix, and it's no wonder Hope's bewildered by his behavior of late. Therefore, when Steffy grows emotional and announces she has to tell her something about Liam, Hope is going to immediately feel a sense of dread. Knowing it's the right thing to do, Steffy decides to break her promise to Liam and tell Hope the heartbreaking truth. She knows with everything in her that if the roles were reversed, she would want to know. She would want the time, not only to prepare herself, but to plan for how to handle the devastating loss her young daughter is going to face. Steffy is giving Hope the consideration she would want to be given. As she said herself, the enormity of losing Liam puts everything that's divided them into perspective. It's insignificant in the face of this news. How will Hope react? Well, we'll have to wait to see that play out on screen, but as one would imagine, this will prove to be one of the most emotional, tear-jerking episodes of Bold and Beautiful in recent memory. The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers reveal that Ridge Forrester and Taylor Hayes' love story is doomed. There's one thing that's sealing the couple's sad fate. At least it'll be sad for Taylor. Some fans were no doubt hoping that Taylor and Ridge's latest reunion would truly stick. Ridge and Brooke Logan's relationship has become stale and rather boring in many viewers' eyes. Taylor tends to be the runner-up in this love triangle, so supporters of her pairing with Ridge were perhaps excited for her to be the winner for once. However, there's honestly no winning a love triangle that centers around Ridge and his fickle heart. Of course, Ridge is pushing Brooke away and standing by Taylor for now. You'd think that'd be a good thing, but it's Ridge's choice of language that's the problem. It's significant that Ridge constantly talks about being committed to Taylor. No matter how many times Brooke, Eric Forrester, or anyone else tries to push him back in his ex's direction, Ridge just repeats that commitment mantra. That's a problem for a couple reasons, starting with the fact that Ridge has never been truly able to stay committed to someone indefinitely. There's no reason to think Ridge has suddenly become a different person. and that this commitment will last forever. The bigger issue is perhaps the fact that Ridge keeps focusing on being committed to Taylor rather than being in love with her. We might buy that Ridge's heart truly belonged to Taylor if he was constantly gushing about his feelings for her, but he isn't. Ridge doesn't act like a man in love at all. He acts like a man who feels obligated to stay by Taylor's side. That's partly because Ridge doesn't want to let Taylor down again, especially considering her broken heart syndrome and everything she's been through to reach this point. Ridge also doesn't want to disappoint Steffy Forrester or even Thomas Forrester off canvas. Plus, Ridge is stubborn and can't seem to get past Brooke's CEO betrayal during all the takeover drama. It's clear that Ridge's motives for staying with Taylor aren't about his desire to build a forever future with her. That's why Taylor and Ridge's love story just isn't meant to last. Ridge's actions are making that clear and setting up his eventual reunion with Brooke. Naturally, it'll be a long and winding road to get to Ridge and Brooke's next chapter. Brooke is gearing up for more heartbreak ahead of Nick Marone's return, so she'll fall into his arms following so many Ridge rejections. That could provoke Ridge's jealousy and get the ball rolling on him getting back together with Brooke down the line. Brooke previously made a prediction about reuniting with Ridge by Christmas, so we'd say that'll come true by the time the holidays roll back around. Taylor may get several months of happiness, maybe even as Ridge's wife if he goes as far as tying the knot with her, but it's all doomed to fall apart in the end. The bold and the beautiful spoilers say Taylor is destined to become the loser of this love triangle once again sooner or later, so stay tuned for updates on any other disastrous news to come. If we had ever made a drinking game of doing a shot every time that the bold and the beautiful had Brooke Logan go on and on about how Ridge Forrester was, is, and ever shall be her destiny, we'd all have died of alcohol poisoning by now. Catherine Kelly Lang gets it. During a recent edition of Bold Live, the OG cast member admitted that she too had noticed that her long-running character always, and often, returned to the D word. It's kind of a broken record sometimes, the actress said, but what else does Brooke have to go back to? She believes in her heart that that is her destiny, no matter what. Sometimes she has blinders on, make that most of the time. Even when a panicone falls on Ridge's head, thereby convincing him to dump Brooke and reunite with his standby wife Taylor Hayes. Even when Ridge drops Brooke like she was hot, rather than inquire why she'd accepted the CEO job at Forrester Creations post-coup. Even when Ridge waits all of nanoseconds before hurling himself into the nearest rose-petal-covered bed with Taylor. Even then, Brooke wears blinders. But what can Lang say, really? Ridge's on-again / off-again relationship has fueled Bold and Beautiful for decades, through 2 Ridges, 3 Taylors, and who can even guesstimate how many divorces. Brooke can be, her portrayer acknowledged, like a dog with a bone. At least the dressmaker will soon be getting some competition in the form of his returning half-brother, Brooke's old flame Nick Marone. Refresh your memory as to who else he was involved with via the below photo gallery that rolls through all of Nick's romances. The Bold and the Beautiful's Carter is desperate to win back his hope. But is this really a love match that is meant to be? Who really buys this absurd idea that Carter Walton had been carrying a torch for Hope Logan for years and looked at her longingly from afar when she began her romance with Thomas Forrester in Rome? Carter, the man who falls in love at the drop of a hat and nearly married Zoe Buckingham and her sister Paris Buckingham. The man who was ready to give it all up for Quinn Fuller. The man who romanced Katie Logan. All that time, he was in love with Hope. We're expected to believe that. And what about Hope? When did she ever even notice that Carter existed? She was too wrapped up in everything Liam Spencer for years before she finally gave Thomas Forrester the time of day. Then, the second Carter paid her some attention, she was suddenly in love. It just makes no sense. Who else looked at Hope like she had 2 heads when she told Carter he was the sunshine in her life? When did they share slow dances in his living room on a regular basis? When did this romance take place? And how long did it last before they plotted their little coup? 3 weeks, if that? Then there is Daphne Rose. While Carter has been proclaiming his undying love for Hope, he has also been kissing Daphne backstage at Forrester Creations because he is Carter and this is what he does. He apparently learned how to waffle between women like Ridge Forrester and Liam. While Hope has no future with Liam due to his brain tumor, she has less of a future with Carter because their romance makes absolutely no sense and Carter can't remain faithful. Liam may think that Carter is the man for Hope, but what if the man for Hope is still out there somewhere, perhaps in Paris? The bold and the beautiful spoilers and updates reveal 3 betrayals are on the horizon. So let's discuss the characters who will suffer from this treachery. Expect some shocking plot twists that will deliver heavy impacts. So here's what fans of B&B should prepare for. When Deacon Sharp issued a stern ultimatum, Sheila Sharp quickly chose her husband over her granddaughter. However, viewers are aware that Sheila merely told Deacon what he wanted to hear. In truth, Sheila had no intention of severing ties with Luna Nozawa and has been secretly meeting with her all along. While this has allowed Sheila and Luna to strengthen their bond, it also paves the way for the inevitable confrontation when Deacon uncovers the truth about Sheila's deception. Eventually, Deacon will learn that Sheila and Luna have grown closer, leading to his outrage over Sheila's betrayal as she connects with the woman he despises. Liam Spencer might soon face a betrayal of his own. Despite his desire to keep his brain tumor a secret, there's a chance that someone privy to the information could reveal it sooner than expected. Steffy Forrester and John Finnegan will feel the weight of keeping quiet, but could they inadvertently let something slip to one of Liam's close friends? Even Bridget Forrester could potentially drop a hint to Hope Logan about Liam's situation. The concept of doctor-patient confidentiality seems to be disregarded on this show, leaving Liam frustrated at first, but he might ultimately appreciate the additional support that comes with the revelation. Will Spencer has been resisting Luna's advances, but how much longer can he last? Electra Forrester is making him wait for their first intimate moment, allowing Luna to take advantage of his desires. If nothing happens between Luna and Will, it would be disappointing. It seems likely that Will eventually kiss or sleep with Luna. She might use drugs or tricks to manipulate him, but he might also give in to temptation. Even though Will plans to stay loyal to Electra, she could soon learn about his betrayal because his hormones are raging, and that makes fidelity difficult. Spoilers suggest that many characters will face significant challenges in the near future, so keep watching. It promises to be a day filled to the brim with drama, and you won't want to miss a second of the show. The bold and the beautiful must-watch moments for Thursday, May 8, show Luna vows to have a relationship with Finn, while Steffy tells Hope the truth about Liam. It promises to be a day filled to the brim with drama, and you won't want to miss a second of the show. Tune in to CBS or Paramount Plus to watch. Liam begged Steffy and Finn to help him keep his brain tumor a secret. However, Hope is Beth's mom, and Beth deserves to spend time with her dad. That means Hope will eventually have to know what's going on. She'll need to help Liam prepare their daughter, while also ensuring their last months together are great. Of course, Finn also dealt with other drama recently. He learned that Luna was his daughter with Poppy. Of course, both Steffy and Lai were horrified to learn that truth. Both Finn's wife and his adopted mother told him to stay away from Luna no matter what. Finn's biological mother, Sheila, wasn't happy at first, but her newfound granddaughter grew on her. Scott Clifton explained that there was no reason in the script for Liam not wanting people to know about his injury, so he made a guess. Liam was standing there arguing with his dad on The Bold and the Beautiful, when after Bill left he got dizzy and collapsed, hitting his head. This led to the discovery that he has an inoperable mass in his brain, and it looks like he may kick the bucket. But when Eric was dying of a mysterious disease, Finn saved his life. so many are holding out hope that Liam will also be the recipient of a miracle procedure. Liam's portrayer, Scott Clifton, went into detail about the events leading up to Liam's health crisis. Scott Clifton sat down with Soap Opera Digest and explained that he looks at the story as existing in two periods, before the diagnosis and then afterward. Before learning about the tumor, when Liam was recovering and insisting that no one learn of his collapse, the actor stated, "What happened wasn't really explained in the scripts, so I just kind of had to make a choice and sort of guess his motivation." The actor explained that Liam and Bill's argument had to do with the fact that Bill felt Liam was mooching off him his whole life and would be nothing without his dad, who provided him with a great job. Clifton explained that after Bill left, "I think the anxiety and the stress got to him, and I imagine there was just a little bit too much blood rushing to his brain, and he faints and he loses consciousness and he hits his head." Clifton recalled that Liam had several injuries to his brain throughout his time on the show. He rationalized that Bill's accusations made Liam wonder if he was simply a burden to everyone. He stated that Liam doesn't want anyone to pity him for having had yet another brain injury. Liam's portrayer felt that his character had never learned his lesson because something hits him in the head, and then everybody has to feel bad for him, and then everybody moves on. This, he explained, was why Liam was at first adamant that nobody beyond the doctors, Steffy, and Finn know about his predicament. Who should come back next? With the news that Nick Marone is sailing back into the bold and the beautiful canvas, we couldn't help but daydream about some other familiar faces we'd love to see back in Los Angeles. From fashion feuds to forbidden romances, these three characters brought the spice, and it's high time they did it again. Amber was never just another schemer. She was unpredictable, complex, and unforgettable. Whether she was stirring things up with the Forresters, romancing Rick, or shocking viewers with baby swaps and bold fashion choices, Amber knew how to steal a scene. Her return would add instant conflict, especially now that the Forrester drama is dominated by Hope and Steffy. Just imagine Amber trying to worm her way into Forrester again, or better yet, starting her own line to rival the dynasty that once cast her aside. Wyatt brought a unique balance of charm and sensibility to the often chaotic Spencer family. With Liam dying and Dollar Bill acting, well, like Dollar Bill, Wyatt's grounded presence has been sorely missed. He could bring back levity, offer romantic intrigue, and by his brother's side as Liam faces his own demise. With Flo out of the picture, it's the perfect time for some family bonding and maybe even a whole new beginning. The Avant family brought depth and heart to the daytime Setzer, and Nicole was right at the center. As Maya's younger sister and Lizzie's surrogate mother, Nicole's storylines had emotional weight. Her return could reignite family tension or even open the door for Maya's reappearance. A grown, ambitious Nicole in today's lay fashion world, yes, please. She could shake things up at Forrester or even team up with someone unexpected, like Zend or RG, to create a new design house. With so much history and untapped potential, bringing these three back would be a creative goldmine. Nick's comeback has cracked the door open. Let's swing it wide and lean into the ultimate chaos. In a gripping turn of events on the bold and the beautiful, Dr. John Finn Finnegan finds himself at the heart of an emotional maelstrom as unresolved family tensions threaten to dismantle his marriage with Steffy Forrester. With secrets simmering and boundaries tested, the storyline crescendos into a powerful clash between duty, desire, and the weight of fatherhood. Finn and Steffy have long stood as a symbol of resilience, navigating countless hardships together. However, their marriage now faces an unprecedented test. Luna Nozawa. As Finn's newly revealed daughter, Luna represents more than a long-lost family connection. She is a disruptive force challenging the fragile stability Finn and Steffy have fought to maintain. Despite Steffy's firm attempts to sever all ties between Finn and Luna, Luna's unexpected arrival at their cliffside home reignites tensions. Her plea for a relationship with her father stirs unresolved emotions in Finn, forcing him to confront a painful truth. He can no longer ignore the innate bond he feels toward his daughter. This internal struggle between honoring his marriage and embracing his paternal instincts becomes increasingly difficult for Finn to navigate. Luna's visit is more than just a confrontation, it is a catalyst. Her emotional appeal leaves a lasting impact, echoing in Finn's thoughts long after she's gone. Steffy, meanwhile, remains unwavering in her position, demanding clarity and commitment, all while confronting her own vulnerability. The situation grows even more volatile as Luna finds an unlikely ally in Sheila Carter. Known for her manipulative tactics, Sheila's involvement escalates the stakes dramatically. Her encouragement may embolden Luna to take more aggressive steps to secure a place in Finn's life, potentially engineering a crisis that forces him into a consequential decision. The storyline peaks when Finn confesses to Steffy with 7 devastating words, "I just can't abandon my daughter anymore." This admission delivers a seismic blow to Steffy, shaking the very foundation of their relationship. It becomes a pivotal moment, one laden with emotional fallout, potential separation, and questions of loyalty that could redefine their future. Meanwhile, at Forrester Creations, a budding romance between Will and Elektra offers a contrasting narrative of warmth and new beginnings. Their connection flourishes amid workplace tension, particularly surrounding Carter and the ever-watchful Daphne. Elektra and Will share lighthearted moments and sincere affection, while Daphne's pointed comments about Hope's absence suggest deeper personal motives. Back in the emotional core of the story, Finn and Steffy navigate another complicated discussion, this time concerning Hope. Steffy's cryptic insistence that Finn deliver a painful truth hints at deeper fractures in their extended family dynamics. Across town, Hope and Liam share a heartfelt moment reflecting on their daughter Beth, further emphasizing the show's recurring themes of parental devotion and emotional crossroads. As the week unfolds, The Bold and the Beautiful intensifies its focus on divided loyalties, the burden of unspoken truths, and the complex layers of familial responsibility. Finn's confession may be the beginning of a rupture too deep to mend, while Luna's growing influence, amplified by Sheila's manipulation, casts a long shadow over what lies ahead. Viewers can expect emotionally charged confrontations, intimate reflections, and pivotal choices that will shape the fates of several beloved characters. With hearts on the line and loyalties tested, the road forward remains uncertain, but undeniably compelling. In a dramatic turn of events on The Bold and the Beautiful, Ridge and Taylor's long-anticipated wedding takes an unexpected detour from celebration to confrontation. What begins as a hopeful declaration of love quickly spirals into chaos when a figure from Taylor's past arrives uninvited, challenging the foundation of her relationship with Ridge. After years of turbulence, Ridge and Taylor aim to start anew by solidifying their bond in a heartfelt wedding ceremony. The event, meticulously planned and held at the Forrester estate, brings together their closest family and friends. Thomas and Steffy return to support the couple, contributing to the emotional weight of the occasion. Everything seems poised for a perfect union, until Michael, Taylor's former lover from South Africa, makes a surprise appearance. Michael's sudden arrival and public confession of lingering feelings for Taylor throws the ceremony into disarray. Taylor is visibly shaken, and Ridge is blindsided by the intrusion. As tension escalates, Michael pleads for Taylor to reconsider marrying Ridge, arguing that their past loves still holds weight. The situation grows increasingly volatile, prompting Thomas to intervene and forcibly remove Michael from the venue. Security and law enforcement are eventually called to de-escalate the disturbance. Despite the disruption, the ceremony continues. Taylor, though emotionally shaken, reaffirms her commitment to Ridge. Later that evening, she opens up to him about her past with Michael and assures him that her heart belongs firmly in the present, with Ridge. While initially hurt, Ridge listens and the couple reconciles, choosing to move forward with honesty and renewed trust. Michael, having failed to reclaim a place in Taylor's life, returns to South Africa, resigned to letting go. The wedding, though marred by unexpected drama, becomes a testament to Ridge and Taylor's resilience and enduring love. Away from the on-screen drama, Lawrence St. Victor, known for his role as Carter Walton, continues to make significant contributions both in front of and behind the camera. As an actor and writer for The Bold and the Beautiful, St. Victor has become a creative force shaping the show's evolving narratives. In a recent Instagram post, he offered fans a glimpse into his multifaceted life, balancing fatherhood, personal milestones, and a burgeoning film career. The post featured moments of reflection, family celebrations, and behind-the-scenes peeks into his latest film project, The Accused, where he plays Detective Lance Branson. The role showcases his range as an actor, tackling morally complex themes in a high-stakes courtroom setting. St. Victor's dedication to craft extends beyond performance. He is known for mentoring younger cast members and investing deeply in his characters, often conducting real-world research to enhance his portrayals. From emotionally charged scenes on B&B to action-packed sequences in his film work, his presence continues to resonate with audiences and colleagues alike. His bond with co-stars, including public support from Naomi Matsuda, underscores the respect he commands within the entertainment community. Through his professional and personal life, St. Victor exemplifies the blend of talent, humility, and hard work that makes him a standout figure in daytime television and beyond. What began as a strategic maneuver by Steffy Forrester to safeguard her family's legacy has rapidly evolved into a seismic revelation that could permanently alter the Forrester lineage. Daphne, once viewed as a rising star in the beauty and fragrance industry, entered Forrester Creations with poise and quiet determination. Positioned by Steffy to counterbalance Hope Logan's emotional influence over Carter Walton, Daphne appeared to be nothing more than a calculated asset in a corporate strategy. However, beneath her composed exterior lay a hidden truth with profound implications. The turning point came during a casual conversation with Eric Forrester. When Daphne mentioned her late mother's name, a woman who had once been part of Eric's life during his Paris years, the past resurfaced. Eric recognized the name instantly, recalling a passionate but distant relationship. As the conversation deepened, Daphne revealed that she never knew her father's identity, only that he was unaware of her existence. This disclosure prompted a private DNA test, one conducted discreetly, without fanfare or expectation. The results confirmed what Eric had already begun to suspect. Daphne is his biological daughter. This discovery has sent shockwaves through the Forrester family. Daphne, previously seen as an outsider with strategic intent, is now confirmed to be part of the bloodline. For Eric, the revelation is deeply personal, a painful acknowledgement of years lost and a daughter he never knew. For Daphne, it is an emotional upheaval, revealing a connection she never sought but now must confront. The consequences extend beyond personal relationships. Daphne's newfound identity introduces complex questions about her role within the family and the business. How will Steffy react now that the woman she once used as a pawn holds a legitimate claim to the Forrester legacy? What will Carter, Hope, and Ridge say when they learn Daphne is no longer a peripheral figure but a true Forrester? This revelation is poised to transform alliances, shift loyalties, and redefine the power structure at Forrester Creations. With the truth about Daphne only just emerging, the emotional and strategic ramifications are only beginning to unfold. The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers for Wednesday, May 7, reveal that Brooke Logan will face a Hope Logan curveball, while Liam Spencer makes a painful choice. At Brooke's place, Liam's been hearing Steffy Forrester's words rattling around in his head. Now that Liam's standing in front of Hope, he's thinking back to Steffy's advice about it being time to tell Hope the truth. However, that doesn't mean Liam will actually go through with it. Liam may try to find some way to come clean about his brain tumor and ultimately chicken out in the end. Perhaps Liam will find the idea of telling Hope that he's dying too daunting and eventually leave without making a real confession. B&B's preview video for the week of May 5 to 9 makes it seem like Steffy will break the news about Liam's condition instead. Hope and Steffy will soon find some common ground when it comes to Liam, which is exactly the miracle he's hoping for before he fades away. Over with Brooke, she'll get some surprising updates from Deacon Sharp, who'll tell her about his recent visit to her place. Deacon was furious when he found Hope with Carter Walton, so he may fill Brooke in on Carter's latest attempt to reunite with their daughter. Of course, Deacon might mention Liam's visit to Hope as well, and express his desire to see the pair reunite. Brooke will be taken aback over Hope's love life developments, especially when she hears Deacon's suggestion about Hope belonging with Liam. Will Deacon convince Brooke that he's got the right idea? Will Brooke push Deacon to let Hope make her own romantic decisions instead? Whatever the case, Deacon will remain convinced that Hope and Liam could have a bright future together if they just give their relationship another chance. Sadly, Liam doesn't have much of a future left anymore, so the best he can do right now is make predictions about Hope and Steffy's truce. Steffy and Finn have overcome plenty of challenges throughout their relationship, but there's one they haven't quite conquered yet. The whole Luna Nozowa story has taken a backseat lately, but that doesn't mean it's over. In fact, B&B spoilers say Luna will stop by the Cliff House to see Finn later during the week of May 5 to 9. Although Steffy tried to ban Luna from Finn's life, Luna won't accept that and will pay her dad an awkward visit. Of course, part of Finn is drawn to Luna, and perhaps wonders what would happen if he could finally give her the fatherly support she's craving. Luna will appeal to that part of Finn as she tries to convince him they both deserve a real father-daughter bond. However, things will remain complicated for Finn since he doesn't want to provoke Steffy's wrath and put his family in jeopardy. It's easy to see why there are lingering fears about the threat Luna poses after all the terrible crimes she's committed. If Steffy finds Luna begging Finn in their own home, she's sure to kick up a fuss. Steffy may send Luna out the door and remind Finn that he has to enforce boundaries for their family's sake. Even so, Finn will no doubt think back on Luna's plea in the aftermath of all this. The longer Finn stays apart from Luna, the more he's going to wish they could reconnect. Plus, Sheila Sharp will continue to help Luna as she fights for a future that includes her father. At some point, Luna is probably going to wear Finn down. It might require some heroic act on Luna's part, or maybe she could end up in grave danger instead. Regardless, there'll likely be something to shake up Finn's world and make him see that he can't live without Luna in it any longer. That's when Finn may go to Steffy with the 7 words that could blow up his marriage. I just can't abandon my daughter anymore. After everything Luna's done, Steffy may have a hard time believing what she's hearing if Finn takes that stance. It could lead to Steffy making some divorce predictions if Finn can't remember what's at stake. The bold and the beautiful spoilers say another round of bad news could be brewing in Finn and Steffy's marriage, so stick with us for updates on all the turmoil. The bold and the beautiful spoilers hint that Hope Logan might be gearing up for a final wedding to Liam Spencer. Will Hope want to remarry after Liam's brain tumor changes everything? Steffy Forrester has been taking a stroll down memory lane now that she knows what Liam is facing. If Steffy weren't married to John Finnegan, she'd probably be getting back together with Liam right now. Since a Liam reunion isn't really an option for Steffy, could it be an option for Hope? It might be significant that Hope is dragging her feet on reconnecting with Carter Walton. Perhaps that's because Hope's feelings for Liam are going to come rushing back once she knows he's on the verge of a grim fate. Deacon Sharp has been rooting for a Hope and Liam reunion, so that may be a clue about what's ahead too. If Liam is really going to face his demise, then the show will want to pull out all the stops and tug at viewers' heartstrings. What better way to do that than with one last Lope tearjerker wedding for Hope and Liam? Hope will find out about Liam's inoperable mass later during the week of May 5 to 9, so that's going to leave her shaken. It should become difficult for Hope to focus on moving forward with Carter when Liam's fading away. As Hope thinks back on her regrets, she might decide she wants to fix her family with Liam. Maybe Hope will push for a remarriage ceremony and insist she wants to be Liam's wife for however long he has left. It might take some convincing to get Liam on board, but he might eventually accept that he wants the same thing. Hope and Liam could come together for some emotional scenes as they make one final commitment to each other, even if their next chapter won't last long. Of course, B&B could potentially throw in a twist if Liam miraculously survives somehow. That could complicate things if Hope only re-enters marriage with Liam thinking that time is running out. Whatever the case, Hope isn't certain about reuniting with Carter at this point, so the door's still open for her to reunite with Liam instead. The bold and the beautiful spoilers say Hope will make some updates to her perspective, along with some fresh predictions about her future, so stay tuned for any wedding news that might be brewing.